Understanding tariffs.
Imagine you're at a school fair where different students sell snacks. Some snacks are homemade, and others are bought from a store. Now, let's say your teacher decides that homemade snacks should be encouraged because they help students learn to cook and be creative. To make store-bought snacks less attractive, the teacher adds a rule. If you buy a store-bought snack, you have to pay an extra fee. This fee is called a tariff. Once your teacher collects a lot of tariffs, the school can use the money to buy a new football for the class. So the whole class gets to enjoy the benefits of the tariffs. In the real world, countries use tariffs to make imported goods, products made in other countries, more expensive. The goal is to encourage people to buy products made in their own country instead of buying cheaper goods from abroad. It also helps your country to collect money from other countries in return for opening up your country's market to their foreign goods. Usually these foreign goods are expensive because the countries which have to pay extra money to bring them in add that extra money to the price of the item. So if you are buying candy in the US, but it's made in Switzerland, it will usually be cheaper than chocolate made in the US. But sometimes these foreign goods can be cheaper than the ones made at home. So if you're taking a cake to your school fair and you spent $10 on the ingredients, it could happen that your friend bought a cake from the bakery for $5. So even if the teacher charges your friend $1 extra, that cake will still only cost $6. She can sell it at $8 and still make a profit of $2. But because you made your cake for $10, you'll have to sell it for $12 to make that extra money. Whose cake do you think everyone will want to buy? The one your friend is selling for $8 or the one you're selling for $12? Because you put more effort into making your cake, the teacher may now decide to raise the tariff from $1 to $5. This makes the cost of your friend's cake $10, the same as yours. So now both of you could sell your cakes at the same price. But maybe your friend decides that selling her cake at the school fair is not worth it. She could set up a stand outside the school and sell her cake for $8, which means she will make some extra money without having to pay your teacher's tariff fee. This is what happens when countries choose a different market, taking their goods to a country without tariffs or with lower tariffs.
Why do countries use tariffs?
Countries impose tariffs for several reasons. 1. To protect domestic jobs. By making foreign goods more expensive, local businesses can compete better and keep jobs in the country. 2. To raise money. Tariffs bring in money for the government. 3. Influence other countries. Sometimes tariffs are used as a way to pressure other countries to change behaviors or policies. This is a risky practice because those countries may try to hit back in other ways.
Trade wars.
Imagine you and your brother have a lemonade stand. You're good at making it, he's good at selling it, and both of you are bringing stuff like ingredients and paper cups in. You sell lemonade to each other and to the other kids in the neighborhood. This is like international trade where countries exchange goods and services. Now, let's say you start arguing with your brother about the price of lemonade. You think your brother is selling it too cheaply, so you decide to charge him extra for the sugar you sell to him. Your brother gets upset and decides to charge you more for the cups he sells to you. This is similar to a trade war. In a trade war, countries impose tariffs or extra taxes on each other's goods to try to gain an advantage or to protect their own industries. But just like your lemonade stand argument, it can lead to problems for both sides.
Risks and impacts of a trade war.
Impact 1. Higher prices for consumers. Imagine your friend raises the price of cups and you raise the price of sugar. Now, both of you have to charge more for lemonade. Customers might not want to buy it anymore because it's too expensive. For example, during the Russia-Ukraine war, sanctions and tariffs on Russian oil pushed up prices for American consumers. Impact 2. Reduced trade and economic growth. If you and your friend keep raising prices, fewer kids will buy lemonade from you. This means less business for both of you. In 1930, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act raised tariffs on imported goods in the U.S., leading to retaliatory tariffs from other countries. This reduced international trade and worsened the Great Depression. Impact 3. Job losses. If your lemonade stand business slows down because of higher prices, you'll be selling less lemonade. And soon you may be making less lemonade too. Then you might not need as many helpers, both to make the lemonade and to sell it. This means some kids could lose their jobs. During the U.S.-China trade war, some American farmers lost sales because China imposed tariffs on U.S. agricultural products. This led to financial difficulties for farmers, and many farm workers lost their income. Impact 4. Strained international relations. Your lemonade stand fight with your brother might make other kids in the neighborhood uncomfortable or take sides. Your brother's friends could stop playing with you. This can lead to more arguments. The same thing can happen between two countries in a trade war. For example, the U.S.-China trade tensions have strained diplomatic relations between the two countries, affecting cooperation on other issues like security and climate change. Impact 5. Innovation and investment slowdown. If you and your brother are too busy arguing, you might not have time to invent new flavors or try taking your lemonade stand to new spots to sell to new customers. In the same way, trade wars can create uncertainty, which discourages companies from investing in new technologies or expanding their businesses. For instance, during the U.S.-China trade war, some companies have delayed investments due to uncertainty about future tariffs.
What happens when countries stop working together?
If countries decide to stop trading and try to make everything on their own, just like you and your brother set up separate lemonade stalls, similar problems occur. Less efficiency. Countries lose the benefits of specializing in what they're best at. If the U.S. tries to manufacture all its electronics instead of importing them from China, it would take longer and cost more because China has factories optimized for this. Higher costs. Without trade, countries have to produce goods they aren't efficient at making, which raises prices for everyone. During trade wars or embargoes, imported goods become expensive or unavailable, forcing countries to spend more producing them domestically. Slower economic growth. Trade allows countries to grow faster by accessing resources and markets worldwide, cutting off trade limits opportunities for growth. After World War I, many countries imposed trade barriers that slowed global economic recovery.
Comparative advantage.
The idea behind your lemonade stand teamwork is called comparative advantage. This economic theory explains why it's better for people or countries to specialize in what they do best and trade with others instead of trying to do everything themselves.
How comparative advantage works.
You're better at making lemonade than selling it, so your comparative advantage is making lemonade. Your brother is better at selling than making lemonade, so his comparative advantage is selling. By working together and specializing in what each of you does best, you can produce more lemonade and sell more cups than if each of you tried to do both jobs alone. When countries trade, they apply the same principle. One country might be good at manufacturing products, like China making electronics. Another country might be good at growing food, like the U.S. farming wheat. By trading, both countries get more of what they need without wasting resources trying to do everything themselves. Tariffs are like tools that governments use to protect their own industries or punish other countries for unfair practices. While tariffs can help domestic industries grow, they also come with challenges like higher costs for shoppers and strained relationships between countries. Sometimes it comes down to choosing whether you want to make and sell lemonade only to yourself and a few of your friends, or do you want to collaborate with people you sometimes fight with to be able to make and sell more lemonade.